All right, Shalom. Let's start first by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Shalom. All right, the images you're seeing here are a part of prophecy. Okay, and so basically, I was watching the movie Terminator 3, uh, Rise of the Machines. And in the very end, this was a clip from the very end of the movie. All right, it had me thinking about a few scriptures. One is this one here, the second death. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 11. It says, "He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death." Okay, and a lot of people, a lot of you Christians want to know what's the second death, because you Bible readers and churchgoers, you want to know what the second death, because you don't go into these scriptures. Well, what the second death is destruction, man. The next big event of uh of the planet Earth, and a big shift, of power. All right, the first death was basically uh what the Most High God had done to the earth during the time of Noah, when he flooded the earth and killed everybody. He judged. Matter of fact, bear with me 1 second. Um, bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Bear with me 1 second. Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and his sword will the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh. And Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who you ignorantly call God. And Yahweh Shai is who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. That's their true names, okay? It says here, and he will plead with all flesh. The slain of the Lord shall be many. Gonna slay a lot. Okay, so let me go to this really quickly. The book of Isaiah. Bear with me one more second. Mm-hmm. Isaiah chapter. Come on, man. Yep, right here. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood." Okay, that's the usual way that war is fought. It said, "But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." This one is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. That's how he's going to plead with all flesh. And let me go to what the event will be known as. Well, we know it as the day of the Lord, but also what it shall be known as. Get it right quick. Excuse me. 14. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Those woes is when it says the first woe is past, and two more woes cometh hereafter. That's talking about world wars, major woes, major destructions. Okay, and this in Revelation 11:14, the second was, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. It's talking about World War III, and World War III is going to be fought with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, as you see in the images here. All right, that's the way the Most High God is gonna plead with all flesh upon the earth. Real quick, it's funny how you don't have things written down, but the Spirit moves. Okay, go back to the book of Isaiah. All right, this is the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 50. Isaiah chapter 54. Matter of fact, like we said in the time of Noah, I'm gonna read this, then I'll jump down. Isaiah 54, and I'm gonna start with verse 8. In a little wrath I hid my faith from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord Yahweh thy Redeemer. The Most High God is going to have mercy on us, though he's going to kill 2/3 of our people. Okay, you go to the Zechariah, the 13th chapter, around the 8th verse, it tell you two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part shall be left therein. The 2/3 is going to get cut off and die. The third part is going to be get salvation and bring back the nation. Okay, but through that 1/3, that's how we're going to be redeemed. We're going to be, the whole nation will come back in righteousness through the elect of the 1/3. Okay, they'll escape the second death. Verse 9, it says, "For this is as the waters of Noah unto me." The first death was the Noah flood. This, but he promised he wouldn't kill the earth like that again. Well, the second time he's gonna burn. He flushed it with the waters of Noah. This one he's gonna burn it out. Okay, incinerate the wickedness of out the planet. Okay. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so I have sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness, see, he gonna flatten the earth and melt the elements, okay, with fervent heat. He said, even though all of that happens, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be moved, saith the Lord Yahweh, that have mercy on thee. Okay? Let me jump down to how he's going to do that. Verse 16, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. Okay, he's talking about the Smith is the scientist that created the atom bombs, the neutron and hydrogen bombs, and all the way up to the nuclear bomb. Okay, from World War II all the way to now. All right, that was done for the judgment of the Heavenly Father, and He's gonna bring everybody to certain places in the earth, whether it be the land of America or the Middle East, to judge all flesh. Okay. Whether it be righteous or whether it be wicked, everybody's got to get judged. Okay, those Israelites that are found righteous will take no part in the second death. Those that do will get burnt up. Okay. All right. So let me go back to the book of Revelation. We're gonna go now to the 20th chapter, and I believe I'm gonna start up at. Let's see where I want to. I think the sixth verse. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. What's the first resurrection? Meaning, your spirit has come back in a righteous manner. Okay, has been resurrected, has been lifted back up, because we were spiritually dead. Now it has to be risen in corruption. Okay, spiritually. All right. Anyway, it says, on such the second death have no power. And those that'll do that are of the elect. And the second death will have no power because they'll earn salvation, okay, and get the victory over death. It says, but they shall be priests of the Most High God and of Yahushua, the Anointed, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Okay, let me jump down. Yeah, and shall go out. Let me read verse 6. And when 1,000 years have expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Okay, 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. Gog and Magog is Russia. Okay? And it's talking about gathering them together, like in the book of Habakkuk. I should probably grab that for World War III. It says, let the weak say I am strong. And matter of fact, Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, talks about Gog and Magog protecting Persia and other countries. Okay? The weaker countries, the Turkeys, the Libyas, so that he'll be a guard unto them. Okay? All right? And that'll be in World War III. Okay? And in World War III, the missiles will come down, burn up the flesh that are wicked. All right? And let me get down to the main point of this. Let's see. Which one I want right here. Yeah, I'm gonna start up at verse 12. It said, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were opened. The understanding of the Holy Scriptures were opened. Okay, it says and the other book was opened, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. Yep, you're going to be judged whether, and your punishment will be the second death, death by pain, death by fire. All right. It says, and the sea, if not, then you earn salvation anyway. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. That lake of fire, particularly America, okay? When the missiles are shot from the ends of the earth and hit America, just like that, And this is the second death, okay? When the nuclear missiles that are shot out from all the ends of the earth hit this place called America, it's going to look like a lake of fire, all right? And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was not of the elect of the children of Israel, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the elect of the confusion of face Israelites. Those confusion of faces are the ones that are Israelites through their father line, but may look like a different nation and have followed other customs, even though you're still Israelites. Okay, it says, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Okay, World War III right there. All right, so we're gonna go from there. Let's go back to that. Let me see right quick. Revelation, back in Revelation 11. Did I read it already? In fact, Revelation 11, and we're gonna start up at verse 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. That was the first resurrection right there, okay? The spirit of life, this holy word, the wisdom of the scriptures of the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That spirit is what is the first resurrection when that comes upon you, okay? Entered unto them. It said, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them, the other nations, who were Israel about to come back into power. Okay, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're on the street corners teaching. You're out there all over the internet. These other nations see us, man. They know we're about to rise back up. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Will get salvation through the chariots of the Most High God, which is called by the common people, the UFOs. Okay, but we know them as the chariots of the Most High God. All right, which our Lord Yahweh Shai and the angels travel in. All right, it says in the same hour there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant thereof affrighted, and gave glory unto the God of heaven. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, as I read before. Okay, World War III. I'm gonna jump down to verse 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. So the wicked are going to be judged, and the righteous are going to be judged and get salvation in that same moment. Okay, we're going to escape the nuclear fire, the second death. Okay, the World War III nuclear missiles. Okay, it says, servants of the prophets and the saints, and them that fear thy name, Yahweh, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. All right. It says in the temple of the Most High. Yep. It says in the temple of the Most High God was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. At great hail, matter of fact, let me go to second address. The book of second address. All right. Bear with me one moment. I'll get to it. Yep. Second address, chapter 16. I'm gonna start with verse 2. It says, gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Okay, those are clothes of mourning and hair and sackcloth. Okay, it says a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may any one quench the fire in the stubble when it had begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a mighty archer? Who can turn these things around? There's no turning this day around. No turning around the second death. Okay? The nuclear missiles in World War III have to come upon the earth. Okay? And he's going to plead with all flesh in that moment. It said, the mighty Lord Yahweh sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, who shall not be afraid? Okay? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea riseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. Just like you seen a tsunami after the earthquake in Indonesia, and the tsunami came up also. That's going to be what kind of takes place, but it's going to be from the nuclear missiles. Okay? Volcanic eruptions and so on and so forth. Winds and tempests and storm. Okay, it says, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow, the Most High's right hand. In righteousness bendeth the bow, sendeth forth the arrows for his destruction. Okay? His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they have begun to be shot into the ends of the world. That shows you that the intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay? ICBMs. All right? From one continent to another continent. Regular bow and arrows can't be shot like that. All right? It says, behold, plagues are sent, and they shall not return again, until they come upon the earth, until they hit the ground. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an archer which is shot of a mighty archer, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plague shall not be sent upon the earth, that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Okay, that's what the prophet Ezra has said. And let me go to matter of fact, Revelation the 18th chapter. Yeah, let me grab that right quick, and then I'll go back. Revelation chapter 18. Yes. Let's start up at verse 2. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, that lake of fire, America, which is destroyed. Babylon is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage every unclean and hateful bird. Talking about those desert creatures. Okay, it's become a desert wasteland. Matter of fact, let me hold that right quick. Let me get the book of Joel right quick. Joel chapter 2, and I'm gonna start up at verse 3. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna start up at verse 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. The prophets have to go out and warn the people about the destruction that's coming, okay? Particularly the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, according to the Bible, okay? 2/3 not going to hear it, but they must be warned. But the elect are going to hear it and follow suit, okay? So a day of darkness and a day of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there had not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. There's never going to be another day like this. When you go in the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, the first verse, it tells you, then shall Michael stand up, was standing for the children of my people. Let me get it right quick so I don't misquote it, but it's a beautiful script. I believe it's the book right before this one. Nope, it's after that. Let me get it right quick. Bear with me 1 second. Because it's going to be so destructive out there. The children of Israel are going to need an angel to come down and protect them. Okay? And that angel is going to be Michael. Pursuant to this verse right here. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, the angel, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that should be found written in the book. What book is that? The book of life, as we refer to in Revelation. Okay? They took part in the first resurrection, okay? All right. Now let me go back to Joel chapter 2, verse 3. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. America gonna be like Garden of Eden, paradise. The word Eden comes from the Hebrew word Idan, which means paradise. Okay, it's gonna be lush and green and blue skies and green, green plants and all life and all of that going on. But after it, it says, but after and behind them a desolate wilderness. It's gonna be the desert, man. It's gonna wipe this whole place and lay it all flat. Okay, it's gonna be uninhabited by mankind, simply by desert creatures. Okay, that's what's said in Revelation 18 chapter. I will go back to that too. It says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face peoples shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. Yeah, they're gonna be all sad, man, when they realize the inevitable destruction that's coming. Once they don't take part in the book of life, the first resurrection, when they have to sign up, they taking the chip or whatever other issue that they have with the Most High God. The chip is the RFID microchip technology, which is also the mark of the beast. Taking the mark of the beast, felt the hour of temptation test, okay, and you're gonna be destroyed. All right. It says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, they shall march every one on his ways, they shall not break their ranks. These are those missiles. There ain't gonna be no missiles bumping into each other. All right. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. They shall fall upon the sword. They shall not be wounded. When they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining, because it's going to make all that thick cloud, mushroom clouds and everything is going to cover the sky, as well as the chariots covering the sky. All right. And let me go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 3, because it's describing how the other nations are going to look at it, at this going on, Matter of fact, I'm going to read verse 2 again. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. America is destroyed. America is destroyed. Babylon the Great, the place of confusion. Where Babylon goes into the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion. Okay, this is a place of confusion. Freedom of religion and freedom of speech and all these other things, liberties that this wicked place gives you. Freedom of sexuality and so on and so forth, gender. All these, whatever you want to eat, there's no law, do what thou wilt spirit here. And, it looks like it follows the customs of Egypt and of Babylon and of all the wickedness of the world. Okay, this place America has, so the Lord's going to destroy it. It says that's why it's called Babylon. It said Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils in the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. They have drunken the philosophy, the confusion, and the philosophies of this place. Okay? It says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Yeah, America, being a consumer nation, has bought everything with these countries. They've all gotten a bed at this country. Now they're starting to see, you go to current events, the world is, through these sanctions and so on and so forth, the world is seeing the type of villain that America truly is. Okay? And here's the resurrection part again. The first resurrection says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues, that you don't get caught up in the second death, in the destruction of the missiles, okay? All right, so you're going to be beamed up into the chariot. The elect will be beamed up into the chariot to escape the plagues, to escape the fire and brimstone that'll come upon this place. Okay, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. All right, I'm gonna jump down to verse 8.